בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ. בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. השמיים ואת הארץ. בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. Try singing along with us. Do 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 do.
These words were suggested by the Hostage Families Forum, as they have been handing out Shabbat candles to people around the world. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where will my help come from? And the candles that I'm going to light first here were given to me by Sasha Ariev, the sister of Karina Ariev, on Tuesday. Karina Ariev is 19 years old. She was one of the women soldiers who was kidnapped on the October the 7th. And so I light these candles as we'll now light candles every Shabbat until she comes home. Shabbat is always a time of mixed emotions. We think of all of those who are with us and also those who are not. This evening, a number of people have walked into the sanctuary who bring a big smile to my face and create joy. Make this an oneg Shabbat. And so let us rise, and we'll invite Daniela and Tony to come and light the candles together and move on with a little bit more joy afterwards as well. If you have Siddurim and wish to, we're on page 69. Page 69. We say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. And on the occasion of a special birthday for Tony, we praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, who provides wisdom to all flesh and blood. Author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for everything that enriches our lives. We turn to you now with special gratitude to share in the happiness of Tony as he marks his special birthday. Be with him and with Daniela always. May he be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. As we welcome you into our sanctuary this evening, we ask God to bless you in the ways that you would wish to be blessed. The blessings of piano music accompanying you on your wedding day by your father and your mother-in-law. What an incredible day, and may you live to have many simchas, many joyful moments together. And so let us thank God for the joy of life and of us all being here together to celebrate it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Mazel tov and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Please be seated.
Happy is the people by whom the Sabbath is sanctified. Happy are those who rejoice in its blessing. For it comes with a message of God's abiding love, as one who brings good tidings and publishes peace.
Elohim, Asher Yador. וג'דיו יבשרו, בואו נשתחווה ונברא, נברכה לפני אדוני עושנו. כי הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו עם מריתו וצאן ידו, היום אם בקולו תשמעו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו לגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ועולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמה שמיים עשה, עוד והדר לבנה, עוז ותפארת במינים תקדשו, עבור אדוני משפחות העמים, עבור אדוני כבוד ועוז, עבור אדוני כבוד שמו, עבור אדוני כבוד שמו. השתחוו לאדוני בחג הקודש, שלו מפניו כל הארץ, זמרו בגויים אדון המלך, אף תיכון דגל בתימון, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים בצד הארץ, יירם הים יערוס אדוני בכל אשר בו. אשר תרגלנו כל הסייעת לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט צדק וצדק הערים ונוצות. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. הלך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, שמעו וזכו בדיבורך תשמיענו, אלחמיו אדוני אחד, וששמו אחד לשמו תפארת ולתהילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לקראת שבת לבוא ונלכה כי ננקו, על ברכה לראשני קדם לסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשה ותבילה, לך Hadodilik Rakala, Neshabbat Nekabela, Itorari Kiva Ore, Ori, Shira Berika God Adonai, Allah Yifika, Lecha Hadodilik Rakala, Neshabbat Nekabela, Boi Shalom, Ateret Allah, Gamba Simcha, Ubetola, Tofemone, Ansegula, Boi Hala, Shakala, Hadodilik Rakala, Neshabbat Nekabela, Lecha Hadodilik Rakala, Neshabbat Nekabela.
We turn to page 92, and please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach, Le'olam.
Praise the one to whom our praise is due. We praise the Eternal One, to whom our praise is due forever. Please be seated, and if one of our shamashim could just get a couple of transliterations, that would be greatly appreciated. And at the top of page 93, we read together, "We praise you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening full." And if any variety of the craft family would like to come up onto the bima to open the arks, I will be absolutely delighted. Would you please rise? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Va'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol ma'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavacha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha, u'gshautam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please be seated.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
Mi kamocha belim Adonai, mi kamocha ledar bal kodesh norah tehilot osechem. Adonai imloch le'olam.
And it has been said, the Eternal One has delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves.
We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, uvros aleinu sukkah shalom lecha, v'tagneinu etzah tova milefanecha, v'hoshienu למען שמך, והגן בעדנו, והסר מעלינו אויב דבר, וחרב רעה ויעבור, וחרב ליבנו עוון ופשע. ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה, כי אל מלך חנו ורחום אתה, ושמור צאתנו וגואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol yoshvei tevel. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanura, El Elyon. Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, Not. U'mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'achava, Melech Chozeh U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Shara. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Machayei meitim atah Rab l'choshia. Mashiv haruach ha'morid hageshem, Mazriach hashemesh u'morid hatal. Machalkel chaim b'chesed, B'chayei meitim barachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, U'matir asurim, U'makayei memunato le'shenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umi do melach. Melech memit u'machayei u'matzmiach Yeshua. Ve'ne'eman ata lahachayot meitim. Baruch ata Adonai, machayei chameitim. Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha, ve'in lanu Elohim baladecha. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated.
Shalom B'nai Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam, beini u'ben B'nai Yisrael, oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz, u'bayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash.
And together, our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath.
Say Adonai Eloheinu, Ba'amaha Yisrael, U'tefilatenu ba'ahava, T'kabel u'hi l'ratzon tamid, Avodat Yisrael Amecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha, b'yira na'avod, modim anachnu lach, she'atah hu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu, le'olam va'ed. Tzor chayenu magen yishenu, atah hu l'dor v'ador. Nodeh lecha u'nesaper techilatecha, al chayenu hamasarim biadecha, va'al nishmotenu habakodot lach, va'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu, va'al niflotecha v'tovotecha, shebechol eit erev v'voker v'tzochorayim. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, u'lahana lahodon.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tatzim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tatzim le'olam. Ki atah hu melech adon, l'chol ha'shalom. Ki atah hu
Adonai Oseh HaShalom. We pause for a few moments of our own reflection. Yiratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu. May it be your will, eternal God, that love and harmony, peace and friendship shall dwell among us. Help us to face the future with confidence and hope. Ish leveto, isha leveta, kol yeled v'yalda limimatam b'mivtacha, kan, sham, uvechol makom. Shabbat shalom. Each man to his home, each woman to her home, every child to their bed in safety, here, there, in every place. Shabbat shalom. These words, which we would have begun our service with as a meditation before lighting the Shabbat candles if I weren't so discombobulated, were written by Shaul Vardi, a member of the Kol HaNeshama congregation in Jerusalem that hosted Rabbi Leah, myself, and 11 of our UK colleagues on Tuesday. Rabbi Dahlia Marks presented it along with other liturgy written or reworked after October the 7th. Rabbi Josh Weinberg, our friend from the Reform movement in the United States, with whom we shared experience, wrote, "It is surprisingly refreshing to be here in Israel. The flowers are in full bloom after weeks of rain, and many people are figuring out the new normal. The buzzwords in Israel is chosen, resilience, steadfastness. Posters of the kidnapped hostages held in captivity for the last 150 days are everywhere. Every bus stop, the walls of buildings and billboards. The focus on the hostages was a constant message. The utter failure of governance, the absence of leadership, and the opportunism of those who wish to break society. For the phenomenal chosen resilience of civil society that has supported the IDF, in other words, their children and friends, fathers, aunts, uncles, and neighbours, has been a beacon of hope for those who promote love and positivity in society. But the fracture is as painful as the water cannon that the tools of corrupt government target on peaceful protesters, including hostage families. There was the disturbing news coming out of Gaza yesterday, when over 100 people died in a food riot in Gaza. As journalist and political scientist Dalia Shendlin wrote in Haaretz yesterday, today the number of Gazans killed reached 30,000, and Palestinians in northern Gaza fought over aid trucks. Some were looters, others were probably starving, or maybe the looters were starving. A stampede ensued, killing some. IDF forces in a related or discrete event nearby felt threatened and killed others. As of this writing, at least 112 Palestinians are dead, over 700 wounded. Social media can battle out which side killed how many. But I know the truth. The war killed them all. This awful incident, Rabbi Josh Weinberg wrote, has the potential to be both a turning point and a wake-up call. The longer the war continues, the greater the pain for everyone. Yet through the pain, a few reflections of hope, likely like the anemone that we saw growing at the Nova Festival site and kibbutz near Oz, in amongst the destruction. The chosen or resilience of Sasha Ariev, someone experiencing great pain, and yet with the strength to thank me for what we as the Ark Synagogue are doing to raise the profile of her sister. She has seen me outside Parliament on one occasion, holding the photo of her sister. That was one occasion. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, volunteers are outside Parliament, holding posters of the hostages. And I hope Ark Synagogue members will make sure that every Tuesday and Wednesday, until Karina Ariev returns home, there will be a member or members stood there holding the poster with her picture and her name. Chosen, resilience. Sasha displayed it, and we owe it to her and her family to show it too. And then there was Rabbi Yael Vaughan. Rabbi Yael is the Reform rabbi of Sha'ar HaNegev, the region that contains all of the kibbutzim and towns around what is called Chotef Gaza, the envelope of Gaza. She spoke to us about how she sat unable to move physically because she wouldn't have gone anywhere on October the 7th on the phone to all of her congregants. She spoke about how she arrived to do funerals and shivers, and how she arrived at funerals and shivers just as part of the people who were there. She spoke about how she accompanied kibbutzniks back to see what had happened to their home. She spoke about the pain within her community and the community's pain at what they felt was the betrayal of everything that they had held dear. When she introduced liturgy to her congregants, sometimes they argued with her. They argued and said, "We have no hope. There is nothing to look forward to." And yet she has persisted and brought in the liturgy of those who came before her. "You may laugh and mock my dreams, but my dreams shall yet come true. For I believe in humankind, as I still believe in you. My spirit still for freedom yearns, unbartered for a calf of gold. In men and women I believe, and in their spirit strong and bold. In the future I believe, for though distant come it will, when nations shall each other bless, and peace at last the earth shall fill." Chosen. I'm not telling you to believe or do one thing, but whatever you believe in, then do it. Rabbi Yael Vaughan reflected what Rabbi Leah and I have kept on bringing as a message consistently through the last decade of showing up. Not just of sitting in an armchair, but showing up and physically moving and going to support whatever you believe is the right cause. That is the way that we do bring society together, putting love and positivity into it. For there is always already too much hate and too much negativity. When we feel we do not have the strength, when we are unable to look at our neighbor with positivity, sometimes we need to do as the psalmist proposed, and as Sasha, Ariev, and all the hostage families forum do, to look up to the hills. Turn to page 520. Page 520 for our concluding prayers. Please rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס סולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך. כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד. Page 524. On this Shabbat, we recall the yahrzeits remembered in our community of Alex Jack Joseph, the husband of Jean, of Hilda Charles, the mother of Jackie Parkinson, of Gordon DeFriend, husband of Hilary and father of Rochelle and Laura Craft, of Anthony Craft, son of Malcolm and Diana and brother of Jeff and Fiona, of Jack Gross, the father of John, Stella Peck, the mother of Nick, Margaret Jeeves, the mother of Matt, of Donna Hymans, a friend of the community, of Philip and Karen Cope, the parents of Viv Dines and grandparents of Gemma Knight, of Lisa Rochelle Kent, the daughter of Ruth, of Leela Mann, the mother of Peter, of Bertram Jacobs, founder, member and life president of our community, Stanley Reed, the father of Patricia Franks and Diana Rodwell, grandfather of Catherine, Michael Gerard, the brother of Celia Voss, and David Krieger, grandfather of Celia, Cyril Shaw, the grandfather of Ali Elton, and Henry Elton, the father of Gary, and of Eleanor Stanton, the mother of Mel. And we're saddened to announce the death this week of Solly Solomon, the husband of Pamela, father of Edward and Barry, father-in-law of Lisa and Leah, and brother-in-law of Joy Jacobs. And also, I want to mention the recent death of the Reverend Malcolm Wiseman, who worked tirelessly for many years supporting small communities around the country. I bumped into him on numerous occasions when I was outreach director of Liberal Judaism. He was a mensch. Let us together recite Kaddish for all those that we are remembering at this time. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi, be'alma divrah hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbi mavarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yiparach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol b'nei adam, v'imru amen. Please be seated. I have to say that of myself, I say you could do better. As in, I've forgotten to bring many things onto the bimmer at this moment in time. The head's not quite in the right place. So please look at your weekly bulletins for all of the new events coming up. We're going to conclude our service on page 526. On page 526.
Yigdal Elohim Hai B'Yish Shabbat Nimsa B'Netel Metziuto Elcha Ben Yachid K'Yehudo Ne'elam B'Gam En Sof Le'ahduto Elo Talmud HaGuf V'Eno Guf Lo Na'aroch Elav Kedushato Kadmon L'chol Davar Asher Nivra Rishon V'Reshit L'Reshito Hino Adon Olam L'chol Motzah Yorei Gedulato Umalchuto Shefa Nevuato Netalomo El Segulato Batipato Lokam B'Yisrael Kamo Sheol Navi Umabi Et Emununato Torah Temet Natal Le'amoel Al Yad Navio Ne'eman Beito Lo Yachal Yiva'er V'lo Yamid Dato Le'olamim V'zulato Sofer Yodea Tzarenu Mabid L'Savtava B'Kadmato Gomer La'ish Hazeh Kol Mivalo Noten L'Rashara B'Rishato Yishvok L'Ket Yamim Al Basaracho Livdot B'Hakeketz Yeshuato Chaye Olam Nata B'Tochenu Baruch Adei Shem Tehilato.
Please rise. May it soon be said again, Adonai Yishmorecha Mikol Ra. The Eternal One shields you against evil. Yishmor et nafshecha, and shelters your soul. And for us all, Adonai Yishmor tzeitecha uvayacha umeata ve'ad olam. May the Eternal One guard your coming and your going, now and always. And let us say, Amen.
Adonai Oseh Amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech et Amo B'Shalom. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom to you all.